Support for this podcast comes from the patrons at patreon.com/FMLFPL.
Okay, welcome to FMLFPL. This is Walsh.
This is Nate.
This is Derek.
Oh my god. We didn't rehearse that and we already fucked it all away.
You guys forgot the order.
Alon is abroad in China, so we have host Walsh today with a 4-man pod. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of FMLFPL situations, I think we have a poignant question from El Jefe, Jeff D, that we will kick things off. Can you go person by person and tell us what you each think of Alon's girlfriend?
Oh my god.
Who wants to begin?
He has a girlfriend?
I haven't met her, so I will abstain from this question. So I will let you guys take it away. He's not here, so we have to do the things.
Oh, we're actually gonna do it? No, she's great. She's cool. She comes watches games with us and shit. What more can you ask?
She sounds better than my wife.
True, yeah. I was just watching football with her the other day.
Oh my god.
American football.
No comment?
No, last time I watched a game with Alon, post-game, we went to an antique store to pick up some cookware, so she has him on the house stuff duty.
Oh my god. All right, maybe he'll edit this out. We'll find out, I guess, all together. So yeah, we had a 5-game weekend. The interminable game week finally came to a conclusion today with a damp squib of 0, Brighton 0, Wolverines 0. Just for those keeping track at home, we have Guess as a City guy, Nate is an Arscast guy, and Dare is a Villa guy. So maybe we'll just kick things off talking about the Arsenal disassembly of Palace, the 5-0. There was a lot of FPL stuff to go on there, but Nate, what did you see there from your team after the long break?
Great. Just exactly what we were all looking for as Arsenal bros. Palace was horrible. I feel bad talking about this game with you.
Talk away. I'm used to this, dude. Come on.
Just totally played into our hands, pressed, but kind of half committally, not really doing the harrying and pressing part, but not the challenging in midfield part, and that's just exactly what all the, our quick attackers wanted. Obviously corners are set pieces are, luck to an extent, but we're good at set pieces, so we're going to score eventually. But getting 2 is obviously abnormal. But Palace was just not really battling on the day. They just weren't really fighting for it. And especially the second corner goal was just hung through. What is Hendo doing there? It's oh no, there's a guy staying in front of me. I can't move. I'm gonna fake pretend to punch this ball, and I don't know. It was just kind of sad. It felt great to get the win and have my team score a lot of goals, which hasn't been happening. So good for momentum and everything.
Yeah. I mean, so we all. Oh, go ahead, guest.
For the listener at home, Walsh is holding up a banner right now that says "wasted potential" on and off the pitch.
So yes, of course. So yeah. Saka, we all own him. We all swerved capping him.
Yeah.
Dare, what are you feeling with? You're famously the most conservative manager in the FMLFPL pod boys. What's your position on Saka? Is this just cold? Don't worry about it. He didn't do anything. How are you seeing Saka? We had a lot of questions about him.
I think I've had him the entire year. He's been ticking, kind of, but I don't know. I think it really depends on potentially where you see some of the United guys and what happens with Son coming back. And I just think where you can kind of place your funds going forward. Also with injuries and what have you, you know, with the big guys, with Holland and Salah and stuff, it's like, I don't know. It really depends. I think where you know, where there's going to be, you know,
all right,
yeah.
ringing endorsement from Derek.
I mean, I'm holding him for now because, you know, I guess I don't really see where else you put it with Arsenal, right? Like, I'd want to put it in. For the whole season, I wanted Odegaard to like kind of step up to be the main guy where I want to put my money in Arsenal. But like, I don't know. He finally started to show that he was like going to be the man, I think, a few game weeks ago. But then again, he's kind of just been not really returning or showing that he's going to be the guy scoring goals or whatever. But
something he has in common with Saka.
Yeah, well, I mean, Saka, but you know, he is the main man. He's going to be on pens, and I don't know.
He does usually get shots. Like that was kind of a weird game for him to. I don't know if he had any shots, but
yeah, I think he had like one. What do you think about it, Guest? I mean, you are famously not patient. You just rip people in and out as you see fit. What do you see with Saka?
So I coincidentally ripped him in this week because I was terrified of his ownership being like as high as it was. I've been living in fear of like his returns for a while. But anyway, I brought him in. I regret it because the other person I was thinking about was Jota, and I didn't want to be a total madman and make that move. Whatever. I still, yeah, it's cool. Like
whatever. Don't look at me.
Learned. I'll be more impulsive next time.
Yeah, I think Saka is definitely like a confidence player. He's going to be good. He's going to be always solid, like for the team wise, but for FPL and goal scoring, like every Arsenal fan like wanted to see him get one of those 5 goals, and like he created a decent amount. He had a chance to get an assist that he kind of fucked up across to Trossard.
Well, the own goal also was quite confounding.
Yeah, he would have had an assist on that, I guess. Yeah.
What do you make of that? I didn't watch too many replays of it.
Honestly, never saw an angle that was clear.
Yeah.
Where it was clearly going towards the line or away from the line or whatever. Like, it's kind of ridiculous that they take away those goals. Like, it's like point blank header off the back of the goalkeeper. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like a clearance that happens to go in or something. I don't know.
Yeah. How are we feeling just about Arsenal attack? I mean, it's kind of ludicrous for me to think about it, but I mean, they didn't attack well. Like, they had 2 set pieces. Not much of the game was being played in Palace's own third. It was sort of just a lot of nothing happening. And then they had a couple of really late, bizarre goals. I mean, is Arsenal attack still a buy? Is it like people have Odegaard? Like, do you hold? Like, how do you guys see that moving forward?
Yeah.
The fixtures get harder.
Well, yeah. I mean, part of that, I think part of what was good was playing a little bit more like low percentage, high risk, like a little faster. So there was actually some breaks happening even early in the game, and they didn't all come off until the Trossard goal to like throw out to Jesus. But
do you think Trossard's gonna?
No, he's
keep
not
his position.
No, he's not going to keep the spot. I don't think. I mean,
I'd
be shocked. I mean, he was good, but I mean, he's going to at most spell Martinelli every 3-4 games or whenever the schedule's tight. But
yeah, I mean, one of the reasons I was also fumbling before is because it's like I want to have an Arsenal guy, but am I going to like get rid of Saka for a different Arsenal guy?
No.
You have an Arsenal
guy. Who would you get rid of him for at this point?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. But
you have Gabriel.
Well,
best pick in the game.
You have Gabriel?
Yeah.
Of course.
Everyone but you has Gabriel on this podcast.
Yeah. Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, cool. Cool. No big deal.
Yeah, you have the greatest donger on the team.
Well, Martinelli.
Raya almost got an assist. So
he actually did.
Hockey assist.
But where are you coming from with that thought process, Derek? Just because traditionally Arsenal are good and you want a player from their team? Because I
want an offensive player from their team. I mean, I don't see them just even though their fixtures are getting tougher, I don't see them like all of a sudden they're not going to score any goals. Like they need to continue to keep up with obviously Liverpool now on the top and City.
Yeah. I don't think it's like a bye this week. I mean,
I don't think it's a bye.
We look good, but like, I think what you want to see is Saka or Odegaard like have a great attacking performance against Forest, and then think about it. But yeah, I feel pretty dumb having brought in Saka this week.
Okay.
It is what it is. I'm gonna hold him, but I kind of panicked. I so many fires in my team still. I feel like I really needed a wild card.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he looks like when I watch him play, even when he's not returning, like he still does things where I'm like, oh, like he'll create something next game. Like I feel kind of confident about it, and whatever. He's still a good player. He's not new form, obviously, but like eye test wise, I still kind of enjoy seeing him on the ball. Like I'm having fun seeing him try to take on two defenders and shit.
Yeah, and then hopefully this like kind of second, I don't know, plan B version of our attack where we're getting him the ball faster, get some more opportunities 1v1 as opposed to 1v2. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we did get a lot of questions going over to the other red team that played this weekend, Liverpool. I mean, that was a 4-0, and that was just, first half was tight, and then it completely unraveled for Bournemouth, and Liverpool just had the run of them. And, as Guest alluded to earlier, it sounds like he was Jota curious, didn't pull the trigger, didn't want to be an alleged madman, even though you already are. We all know that. People are asking, like, is Saka to Jota a good move? I mean, Jota is on the tip of everyone's tongue. Like, how are you guys? I mean, maybe we'll go over to you, Guest. What do you see with Jota after thinking about getting him in, watching him triple return? Like, where are you at?
He's so fucking good. He's so like smart and clever. It's really cool to see him just like step up with great timing when Mo's out. You guys already talked about the deal with him though. Like you kind of got to catch, like his moment, and you get a shit ton of points, and then you hold on to him too long, and like he's rotated out or whatever. Anyway, it's still kind of a good time. I don't see like a real reason not to go for it. I mean, he's fucking dong so good. Just, it comes with the asterisk, the caveat that like you're going to get fucked eventually.
What are you seeing there, Dare? Are you interested in Jota?
Yeah, he's the kind of guy, like, if he's healthy and he's starting, it's like 100% you want him in your team kind of guy. But like, I feel like that's pretty rare. But I don't, with the Mo injury news and stuff, I think he's going to be pretty nailed on the side for at least a few game weeks. So I think it's probably a good pick right now.
Yeah, Nate, you look like you're chomping at the bit. Go ahead.
No, I fully agree. The injury, I think, Mo's injury, it just looks like it's going to be 3 to 4 weeks potentially. He already left. He has no chance of playing in AFCON, so they already sent him home. That just kind of like, I don't see how they could take him out of the team, Jota, because he basically does all the connecting and kind of playmaking stuff that Salad was doing for them and in that role. And he just seemed to be able to just seamlessly just slot in. And I mean, it was like, it wasn't perfect the first half, but once they got going and got on the same page, him and Darwin were just like kind of unreal, like kind of scary. Yeah. And Darwin also looks amazing.
Hang on. Before we go to Darwin, let's circle the square with Jota. So I mean, they have home Chelsea, at Arsenal, home Burnley, at Brentford next month, which should be about coinciding with when Mo might be back in a month, which would be home Luton Game Week 26. I think like something also that was very stark for me was looking at their bench, and other than Gakpo, there was nobody. So even when we're used to seeing Jota play and start, you're like, oh, hopefully he makes it to 70. And now, we kind of see between Jota, Diaz, Darwin, Gakpo is really the only sub. So not only is Mo going to be out for a month, not only do they have no depth in the front three anymore, unless if you're going to count Harvey as a front three sub, which is questionable. I mean, it's just like Jota looks like he's going to just get 90 for the next 4 game weeks. And, Dara, like saying it's rare, and this is like put your rare candy in, I mean, this is like you're in Safari Zone and it's just you're catching Kangaskhan, right? Like it's the time. It's got to be the time.
Which I kind of guess we're all kind of dumb maybe to not have gotten before this game week, because like, I don't know. I guess we didn't know Mo was going to get injured and what have you, but you probably thought he'd be in at least 2 to 3 game weeks. But anyway, I think right now it's a good pick.
Yeah, it just stressed it a lot more because of the short-term nature with Mo not, injured, where you're like, okay, you have at most 3 games realistically to get me points, and I'm using 2 transfers on you. But now you're looking at like 5 or whatever, and he might just keep his place after that. I mean, that's not impossible. And yeah, but in terms of just how to fit him in, because I think the Saka question is worth merit. I mean, some people have Bowen, like Foden. I mean, where do you guys see Jota in the pecking order of midfielders of just across the game?
His ceiling seemed as high as anyone's.
Yeah.
I mean, higher than Bowen, higher than... Okay, maybe not higher than Cole Palmer. He's right up there with Cole Palmer.
Oh my God, that's what world we live in?
I mean, the world we live in this week, yeah, pretty much.
Top 3? Top 5? Top 3? In that range, though, right?
Yeah, who else is there? Kev?
Oh my God.
Also Kev. I guess we'll get to Kev, right? But
we'll come on to your team, guest. Don't worry.
The fixtures are like it's as good a time as any to get Jota like right now.
Yeah. What about you, like, Dara? Are you thinking of jumping?
Yeah, I mean,
you have Mo. You're the only one of us that has Mo.
I know. I have Mo. I also I have Bowen, Foden, Mo, Saka, pretty much. So I have to figure out really how I'm going to get him in. I don't know. It sounds like Haaland's maybe. Again, I don't know. Is he going to be back for, what is the game on the 31st?
Burnley, probably bench for Burnley is what I would expect. Guess, do you have something on that?
He's not going to make it into the squad for the cup, right? So his first just appearance on a team sheet is going to be, to your point. I mean, I agree. It's probably going to be a bench appearance.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm just going to I mean, I have 2 frees, so I don't know. I might just get rid of Bowen and bring him in.
Yeah.
And then
reasonable.
I don't know. Figure out. I don't know. It's tough because I obviously have to keep the money in the bank so I can bring in Haaland.
Yeah. And have
the extra transfer if I want to take Mo, to take Mo out for Haaland at that point. If it's Mo's still going to be out, I don't know. It's all messed up, I think. But I feel like I probably want to take probably maybe go for Bowen, but I don't know, to be determined. I feel like we have a bunch of time too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's every team plays at least once. There's cup games at the weekend. Yeah. The next game week's not till next midweek. And So Nate, you started going Darwin. I cut you off there, but what are you? I mean, me and Guest have Darwin. I've had Darwin for a fucking shit ass long time.
Me too.
We captain Darwin.
Yeah, you have Darwin too, Nate. Yeah. So what's the Darloose situation right now?
Not lose. I mean, he's been good this whole time, so nothing new. He's just. The goals
he's getting
are coming.
Points now, though. That's new.
Oh, yeah, but he's been amazing the entire time.
Yeah.
So, nothing new here. He's just a genius. He's incredible. Yeah, love him.
And what about you guys? You capped him. How did you see the light?
I just wanted to hang on to potential for happiness, till the end of the game. X Hope was through the roof. I was like, oh, January 21st, I would gladly wait that long for a payoff on this week. So, I didn't really think about it that much. I just kind of did it. And the game was obviously, the first half was not fun. And then
they were softening them up.
Yeah. once things kicked into gear and he got that first return, it was just anyway, I was feeling like, okay, got away with this one. And then the cheeky second goal towards the end was really
incredible.
Fucking amazing. He's playing exactly as good as he had always. The FPL things are falling into place now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was really relieving because he had so much link up with Salah like all year with Mo, and to see how they played without Mo and that he was still just doing all the same shit and everyone's amazing. It was just like, oh, okay, like this is fine. Everything's gonna be fine. Like we can calm down. Yeah.
Him and Jota are such a good attacking force. I wish
I don't know how you
Diaz
defend
hadn't
that.
started. He's kind of frustrating to watch.
Yeah, I feel like Diaz shouldn't be starting over Gakpo with these two because the interchange of all three of them, Diaz is just so direct. Like you kind of know what he's going to do. He's going to either go to the byline or he's going to cut in, and it's like, but he can play on the right and left, but we'll see how it develops because it's kind of one where I imagine that Klopp will kind of chop and change personnel and position depending on the enemy and the fullbacks and all that kind of shit, and it'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, Darwin just fucking amazing, and we did have some questions because people I think have been slowly trickling into getting Darwin in their teams, like reluctantly, but just generally from the forward standpoint with Darwin again looking great, double returning, Haaland coming back soon, which is something in the back of our minds, but also Tony's back. You know, I mean, he scored the goal, could have had 2 or 3 assists in that game if, you know, someone other than Neil Maupay was playing with him. How are you guys looking at Tony right now? I mean, he's 8 million. He looks like he's just been playing all the time. I mean, he just looked exactly as I've always remembered him. I mean, what do you guys see there? Maybe you want to go with, what do you got? Go ahead, Gust.
Go ahead, Ghost.
I was going to say the ability to manifest goals seems really good for FPL. So in that sense, he seems like a good pick.
Yeah. I feel like you're a Tony aficionado, Dare, honestly.
In yesteryear, I guess I was. I mean, he's always been a good pick, obviously, when he's healthy, which is pretty much all the time and not suspended for gambling. But
thank you for the clarification of why he was missing. We got it.
I don't know if I'm going to go to him because being loyal to Ollie, who's been a trickle guy. God. And I don't know. Dom still seems like a good value pick, and I don't know. Alvarez, it might be time to get rid of Alvarez because even though
you still feel like Alvarez?
he should get points like every game, he just doesn't. So I don't know. Maybe that's more of the spot.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, I guess so. But anyway, I mean, I think he's going to keep playing and starting. But yeah, I think that spot is probably my fungible forward spot.
Well, so I mean, you're very much looking at. I mean, Haaland's there and thereabout, but you're sort of looking between Tony and Darwin, honestly, right? How are you kind of splitting those hairs, or have you not split them yet?
Honestly, I still have not. I'm not focused on Darwin to bring him in.
Oh my God! A Darwin denier. You hate to see it. You hate to see
I'm not a denier. I don't know. Obviously, he's always.
You believe in the theory of evolution.
Yeah.
He's so good that he gets braces and hat tricks, but I want to keep Ollie. He might get me 5 points. You know.
I don't know. I just, there's Kev. There's guys that you want to buy and maybe can't afford them all. So
okay,
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
The thing about Tony though, sorry, just gonna say like the thing even though he's like back and shit, his after his next one at Spurs, it's a brutal run of 4
with a double.
City at okay, that's true. There's a double there, but like it's not a good double.
No, it's not. It's not.
I just looked at it for the first time.
Yeah. And they have 2 days. It's a Saturday, Tuesday double, but I mean, yeah. So it's Spurs, then home City at Wolves, then their double is home Liverpool at City, game week 25. So game week 26. Yeah. Nate, I mean, what are you seeing with Tony in terms of just the bad fixtures, the double, the outlook? Are you looking to get him in, or I guess more specifically too is how do you see him compared to Watkins, because I think Watkins is in a shit ton of teams and people should start getting more twitchy with him.
Yeah, I mean he's better than Watkins, but I mean Brentford is not in a great spot right now without Bumo, and they just kind of been playing shitty football for the past month or so. He looks great, but the team itself is not creating a ton. Like you said, he's playing with Neil Maupay, and these fixtures are just bad. So no, I'm not really in a rush. I mean,
yeah.
If Haaland wasn't coming back soon, maybe I would bring him in first for Watkins, but
yeah. Yeah, and I guess there is an issue too where they're going to be playing two up top in these tough fixtures. And I don't know if him and Neil would function. I mean, is he going to be KLP, Lewis Potter up top with him in the two? I mean, they might really struggle to another stratosphere against the tough fixtures. Playing two up top.
Like how many chances are they going to get?
And Wissa, yeah. So that is definitely a damper. I just feel like Pens is just such a big deal, And
yeah. I mean, he's really good at
Watkins, and he's like, I compare Tony to Watkins as like, well, Tony's actually good, Watkins fucking sucks. Like he just runs around, and like Tony having Pens is just gives you that potential holdout for, neither of these teams are prolific attacking. Obviously, Villa's better than Brenham, but you at least have a chance of just a pen being Tony from going from 2 to 9 in any of these tough games, right? From getting a 2-pointer to a 9-pointer. And, he does create a lot, and he's a menace on set pieces, and he takes direct set pieces. Like Tony just has every box that Watkins has none of them. Like the only box Watkins has is I have a high work rate. And I just like that transfer seems so worth it to me, regardless of the fixtures, of just Tony being higher ceiling, higher floor. I don't know. Might be crazy on that one, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe time to ditch Watkins, but the thing is, his spot's going to turn into Haaland, not Tony.
So let's go over to City guests. So Haaland, you play before the next game, the league game. Kev came back, played a few minutes. We all know how that went. What's the state of the union?
Can you tell us how that went?
Oh, come on, stop! It can only get so hard. What's the state of the union with City? I mean, what do you see?
I mean, I wish that game wasn't so long ago, because I was feeling so good last weekend coming off of that. Turn was fucking majestic. Congrats to you, just on the record, for having the balls to make the move. Good work. And I mean, I love to see it, but I'm sitting here holding Foden, who.
So am I, guess. So am I.
Yeah, it's cool.
We all have Foden.
I got some Foden points earlier. I'm not gonna whatever. I'm not gonna abandon ship with him yet. I think it's cool. I like having him on the pitch and on the fantasy team. But yeah, I mean, the thing with Kevin is he still is talking like he's not about to play 90 or even 60. What did he say? He's going to do 25 minutes here and there. So it's not the most encouraging, but obviously if you got to hold them.
I mean, what are you doing with that? Because everyone's in the same boat of, Kev is saying he's not going to start. Like, do you just don't get him until he starts? Like, what is the piece of information that you need to see before you're like, okay, now I'm going to buy Kevin? Because people are like, Mo to Kevin, like how essential is Kevin? Do I need to get Kevin immediately? Am I stupid if I hold Mo?
I'd like to see him play 45 minutes to start with.
45? Low bar. Just sub on and out.
Like bare minimum, floor of 45 minutes, and then I'll be like, obviously he can do a lot of things in 20 minutes, but
in 45.
45 can be twice as many points.
He's going to get 26 points in 45 minutes.
That's where I'm at with him.
Okay. What are you seeing?
He's coming up ready to do some things. He's changing shit up in the attack. It's already happening, but
I don't know. I want to see him like probably start a game. I haven't. Did Pep really say those words that he's going to be playing like 25 minutes for?
No,
like,
I think Kevin said those words.
That's not good. If Kevin said that, that's maybe even worse. Yeah, I feel like maybe if he starts playing 60 minutes. But I don't know. Obviously, he's capable of double returning, playing like whatever amount of time. But yeah, I think maybe you just want to see him start getting some more minutes before it's maybe worth it.
Yeah,
they have a cup match, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have a cup.
So
they have Champions League soon. Like, they have a lot of games in February.
Yeah, a lot.
If he does 45 minutes in that cup match, like, I think he's in.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was going to ask. What do you have to see in that cup match?
Love that. Well, I think it's an interesting conversation to have between Kevin and Jota, though, because I mean, like, Jota's none of the risk, and Kevin's kind of all of it. Is it just, we get blinded by the ginger god and it's like, oh, Kevin, like, blah, 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 he's more expensive? Because, like, how could you conceivably transfer Kevin in over Jota? That feels insane to me.
Yeah, it feels like...
Well, unless hair matters a lot sometimes, so that's one reason.
That's true.
That is very true. Hair color does matter. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of 1 and 2 pretty clearly in terms of priority.
Yeah.
Jota and
I mean, like, Nate, you have Diaby in your team.
Yeah,
what are you up to over there?
I just haven't had a chance. I mean, I have Chukwuemeka also. I have a lot of guys.
Hasn't had a chance. Walsh, chances just clicking buttons.
You have 10 million in the bank.
I did 3 transfers last week.
You have 10 million in the bank. So what are you doing with Diaby? I mean, you could get.
I'm going to Jota.
Probably until Kevin plays 20 minutes against fucking Fulham or something in the cup, and you're like, okay, okay, all right. And what about? I guess I do want to touch on City defense for a moment with you while we're graced with your presence. I mean, do you see this turning around, or do you see it still being sort of goal a game, going to be underwhelming? I mean, what are you looking at?
Yeah, those goals they gave up to Newcastle were not encouraging. I think obviously the fight back win is great for morale, and I feel good about their attack. I don't think the City cleans are coming as yet. Wait on that.
I feel like they never keep cleans. How many cleans do they have? Seriously,
like Diaz was just like he couldn't handle it. Essentially, like, he was just not up to the task, and until like there's a good center back pairing that could like hold it down, I don't really believe in City cleans right now.
Yeah, I mean, they have 5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Actual 5 clean sheets this season. Okay, so that's just still
as many as Spuds, right?
Oh no, Spud. Yeah, I mean, it's Gvardiol still remains to be somewhat interesting to me, just because for some reason he seems to play him at left wing more often than not.
Yeah.
But he sucks at it, and also he could accidentally cross to a head sometimes. But yeah, I mean, the lack of cleans, it's just so strange, because in the last 7, I mean, as long as I've been playing the game, basically every team has a City defender. Like, every FPL team that's good, you just have one of them basically at all times throughout the season. And they've never been this cheap, but I guess Towers has the march on us all because they're fucking dog shit.
What's up with Ederson? Is he going to be out? I didn't even read up on his news.
Oh, I haven't heard like a medical update or anything.
Yeah, there hasn't been one, but I mean, he sat on the bench after he subbed off like fairly quickly, and he was just chilling so hard talking Portuguese. So maybe I imagine he'll be back.
Could have been just one of those embarrassing type of, you're an embarrassment, then you hobble and then you come off.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. I wanted to also just touch on Perv, I think, because he's sort of interesting. Came in, they back-to-back 0-0s, and he was doing a lot of left-sided center backing today, as he was the game previously, but he's just like farming bonus points, spamming bad crosses, getting his pass completion percentage really high by passing sideways to the center back on the 3. But he's on set pieces. Like, I mean, he's 5'1", just good pick. Like, because I feel like defenders, we struggle to find defenders, and he's just back fully. Am I missing something there? Or what do you guys see with Perv?
This week, yeah, I hit him in, this past week. Enjoyed the 2 bones on top of the queen. I was waiting for Brighton to concede after he came off, just for like the extra fun of banking that queen. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he just, I don't know, seemed like top 4 defensive pick in the game right now.
Yeah, and they have a good run.
Yeah, fixtures and like his nailiness and all the things he does, like all the participation he does, like you said. He's just a damn good defender pick. Like, why not?
Yeah, Nate, you just brought him in too, right?
Week before this, yeah.
Yeah. What were you looking at with him? Same.
Just trying to hop on the bandwagon, basically. Okay. He's just kind of a no-brainer, even though it's like a really weird role that he seems bad at. Not really being an attacker, but I'll take it. The defense has been pretty good, so whatever. It's the same as getting an assist from him. He's still getting the bones. So there's not a million defender picks right now, like there was earlier in the season. So he's definitely like top 2, 3. With at least while Trent is out,
Yeah. I mean, defense, we kind of keep talking about how, clean sheets are somewhat dead and impossible to predict. So just get attackers. And, looking across all of our teams, like we sort of all have that more or less, other than a rogue Johnny Evans in someone's team on this. I don't know who that is. But.
I mean, I'm rolling him back out there next week for sure.
But like Purvis, like Poro, whatever, and what are you looking at there with defense in general?
Do you guys like Perv over Poro?
I think you should have both.
I don't. I think Poro's ahead. Yeah, why not both is a good answer. But Poro, because Purvis is genuinely not attacking, for 90 minutes. I mean, I watched today and I think I watched most of the game last time, and it's like he's literally in the build-up as the back 3 in the left-sided center back role for 50 to 70 minutes, and then he has 10 minutes where he just goes on an adventure doing whatever the fuck, and then he has 10 minutes where he's playing as an attacker. And, all of that adds up to him like not taking a shot for games in a row. And also, though, all of that to say, like, that's kind of good for bonus points, right? And he's still on the indirect set pieces, which is very like on corners, you just never know when you're going to fall into that. Like he reminds me of like Cresswell in years past, where he's like the team fucking sucks at keeping clean sheets. And, he's not really attacking that much in open play. And also he's on set pieces and he can just get a 12-pointer with an assist and a clean on any given day just by taking set pieces. Like how many years have we talked about defenders on set pieces? Like those are just gold picks that tick. And, Gross has a lot of the right-footed set pieces, but yeah, I mean, Perv's still good. All that to say, though, like Poro's on literally every set piece, and all he does is attack. So it's like any of the drawbacks that I was just saying about Perv don't exist for Poro. And Poro's similarly as good as on bonus because for the pass completion percentage he doesn't get, he just spams that many more incomplete crosses. So, I mean, Poro is a cheat code, I think.
Yeah. Second best defender pick in the game.
Yeah. To Gusto.
Behind Trips. Just kidding. Is that real that he's rumored to go to Bayern? Is that like a real rumor?
Who?
Trips.
Yeah, they're in
Really?
financial fair play. Stavely was probably trying to like sell iRobots for like financial fair play or something, like Model X, Model Z or something. But they're in trouble. Like Almiron, I think, is going to Saudi. They're talking about that they could do some laundering there and try to do some diddling. And, they're always going to try and diddle here and there. But Trips fits the mold of get an ex Spud to Bayern, right? It's so good that Kane is like goes to Bayern. They've won the league for over a decade in a row, and now they're just like kind of fucked, and they're not going to win the league. I wasn't on to that at all, but they're very much not looking like they're going to win the league this year. I don't know.
Crazy. I know I didn't mean to switch topics, but yeah, I think those are both Porro and Perv are probably both picks to have, and I mean also obviously depending what's going on with Trent, who I also still have. So I have some hard decisions to make. I think a lot of people.
Do we know any updates on Trent? Can we dial in along?
Phone a friend from China. No, I mean he might play the Fulham game, but they were talking about him hopefully being ready for the Chelsea game. So we'll see. I mean the Chelsea game's in 9 days, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. But Trent still, I think you just, we all have it, right? You just kind of have to hold him and start him for Chelsea, hope he plays and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about
you guys bringing in Connor Bradley?
Yeah, I know. Dude, speaking of Connor Bradley,
fucking
player. He was really good.
Yeah,
he was really good. Another player who was fucking floored with the quality and was McAtee, dude, on Sheffield, City. He was like, because he's been playing periodically, and I've always been like, you kind of saw. He ran that game. He looked really fucking good.
It was kind of a fun, chaotic game.
Yeah. I mean, it was a very dull, nothing game until all of a sudden it was just everything all at once.
I thought
stoppage
Sheffield
time.
United was fun, though.
Yeah,
pretty much.
No,
throughout.
I mean, I mean, Wilder's got them playing, and they have Barrington Diaz and
BBD.
Yeah, BBD.
He's a fucking legend.
Yeah, he's going to be so good.
Hyped that he's finally in the league.
Yeah, for 10 games, and then he'll be in the flamp doing all the same shit. But I mean, Sheffield is actually a little bit interesting in that they don't seem like just the dead fish that they were, a month ago. I mean, they're just like active.
But they're in building for championship next year mode, right?
Totally. They totally are. But it's also like before, I feel like when I saw that fixture, I was just like, oh, easiest clean sheet I could ever imagine. And like, they're not going to cross the halfway line. And now they have a little bit more about them, right?
Yeah. They have like 4 strikers that are decent. Like, okay. And they can make attacking subs actually. Yeah, they're pretty fun.
Yeah.
You're talking about Ryan Brewster, right?
Yeah.
He's not going to work here anymore.
That was bad.
Sad story. Yeah.
How do you guys see Palmer for the Liverpool game? Is he a start or a bench or a hide or he's too good to bench? Like where do you guys see there?
I've benched him way too many times this year and lost so many points. He's just starting in my team all games. Yeah.
Okay.
That's where I am with him.
Guess, Nate, how do you see that one?
I think he's a start.
At Anfield, yeah. Start. Guess?
Yeah, I mean, they could squeak out a pen.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Palmer right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you'd start or what you want to do with him this weekend?
Oh, I've kind of not thought about him and let him collect points for my team. It's been great. You just kind of close your eyes and start Palmer. It's like it's all good.
Yeah, he's elevated. Yeah, he's at another level.
Okay. Yeah, it's just I guess I'm still not like there yet fully. I mean, I'm planning to start him, but just like wow, like I see at Liverpool, and I'm just like, oh, like I think Chelsea are going to get absolutely fucking destroyed.
You're stuck in the past.
I am. I need to update my operating system.
No, they'll get destroyed 4-1. You know who the one is?
Yeah,
Palmer.
I mean, Gomez, Rez rivalry.
Vengeance.
Vengeance.
Yeah.
Draw pen. Palmer gets in, slots in.
Jared, let's come on to your team, even though it's not prescient. You didn't play this weekend, but Villa. What's the story?
What's cooking?
How we doing? Yeah, what's cooking?
I don't know. Clement, center back. I feel like he has to go.
It's a long leg. It's a long legs podcast here.
No, I don't know. I think they will continue to be like a strong side, but I don't think they're going to be like a powerhouse offensive team. Like I feel like they've scored more goals than they probably should. I mean the weirdness of like playing ridiculously well at home and like horribly on the road just feels weird. I don't think they're going to continue to be like a super powerhouse at home like they've been. And they'll probably start to play a little bit better on the road as well. But I don't know, the Diaby and on the wing. Early on in the season, I thought he was going to be more of a force, and it's just he's kind of goes missing in games. I don't know. What do you see with him? And like, I feel like
only one of us owns Diaby, so I think we have to defer to producer Nate over there.
I mean, I like the player still. I haven't been like super bummed to be starting him because there's always like he's good enough to return and score a goal or get an assist, but obviously not to the point that I want to keep him on my team because I'm probably going to get rid of him. I mean, Leon Bailey's been really good.
Yeah,
but
I feel
nobody's been super consistent. But this is kind of like Emery's had these runs before, like with Arsenal. There was a big one where I think we were undefeated for 23 games or something and overperforming. It was like XG was new at that point, and we were overperforming our XG by like a shitload, and everyone was
before you had Jesus, you mean?
Yeah. But yeah, it all like it all evens out. Like that was a crazy run. Villa had a really good run. They were playing really well. Everything's going in, but it's not gonna last forever. They're still a good team.
Yeah, I just feel like when Diaby and Bailey played together, it's like, I don't know. You would think they would like complement each other, being similar type of players, I guess. But it's just like I feel like both go kind of missing in the game. It's kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, it's potentially that's tactical. Like when Bailey wasn't there, Diaby had way less responsibilities. Like he was kind of a second striker,
right?
And now when what do they have, like McGinn playing right wing? Like he's not really a right winger. He's doing a lot of work. So the coach is going to be asking them to do different things, and they're just not like a freewheeling attacking side at all. Which doesn't mean they're bad, but you don't want to like have their fantasy assets while they're in their slump,
Yeah, I mean, I think Moreno's still a really good pick.
Yeah, it's a solid team.
I think he might be like the best pick on the team right now. I mean,
I agree with that completely. Yeah, I think 1,000,000% Moreno's the best pick.
So,
I mean, what do we make of Watkins? I mean, I feel like he's just an elephant in the room that I feel like 80% of the teams I open or look at has Watkins, and he just feels like terrible to me, like just an objectively bad pick. Why is he not a bad pick?
Points elsewhere. He was such a good tick merchant, and then his record is like not much better than Saka's. He's got 2 returns and 6 or whatever. Or sorry, double assist return. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's just not like as steady of a tick merchant like he was, and I think you can cover the points elsewhere. I mean, he costs 8.7. We're all trying to sacrifice a forward to get up to Holland, and Ollie's probably like your most expensive forward anyway.
Yeah,
I definitely don't think he's like I don't think you have to hold him by any means. I mean, I think you guys spoke about it, but like you get rid of that ridiculous game he had against Brighton. It's like he ticks. He's a ticking kind of guy, but he's not very explosive.
Yeah.
And he's expensive now too. I mean,
yeah.
What did he start the season at 8?
Yeah, 8. He's 8-9 now.
8. I mean, that's definitely not a buy. I mean,
but he's also looked worse.
Though.
Like the last month or two, like he's doing so much more facility. I mean, dude, he has fucking 1 goal in the last like 8 games or something. I mean, he's doing so much more facilitating and occupying and being like the decoy run versus
he runs.
Yeah, but before when Diaby or Bailey were less prominent in the team, he was putting up monster underlyings and returning every game, for like 2 months, but he just hasn't been doing that lately. And I mean, this is a tough thing, right? Because we have to negotiate. Is like, is that a period of a phase of play or something where now that's happening and then it's going to change and revert back to the way before, or this is the way forward? Because, you look at him between like game week, 6 and 16 or so, and he's the best striker in the game behind Haaland, but you look at him from game week 21 to game week 15, and he should be in 0 teams. I don't know. I mean, what do you do with that? I don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, their fixtures are pretty solid, I think, coming up too, but
yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're not going to be suicidal if you keep him, and also I feel like you should be looking to get rid of him, basically. He should be the Haaland spot for everyone, basically, right? Yeah. Like Solanke's better than him.
And a lot of people still don't have Darwin, so someone's got to make way for Darwin too.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm with you on Darwin for sure. So let me see, what else do we have here? I mean, we had some questions about Mo, like should we hold him or not hold him? I think we can kind of gloss over that. But we had some questions about forward. I think we kind of touched on, and only 5 games this weekend. It's kind of slow. Is there anything you guys wanted to touch on that we haven't talked about yet?
Is there anything to talk about the Sputterings, attack wise? Like what's
the deal with Rich?
Or whatever?
Yeah, you want to go back to Rich from yesteryear? What are we doing? What do you guys see with Rich?
Well, it seems like you were super anti-Rich.
When am I not?
Like 3 weeks ago. And then last pod, you were like, oh, he's an amazing pick.
Yeah, and I will never get him. What do you guys see with Rich?
Is he still an amazing pick or not?
Well, he's certainly behind Jota. I mean, I think the emergence of Jota has really thrown everything upside down because, like, to me right now, after watching that game, is like everyone I think should be scrambling to get Jota in, and at all costs almost, whether it's Saka or, Foden or whoever the fuck, like, I don't really care. I think if you don't have Jota, you're stupid, honestly, after watching the Bournemouth game and with the Mo injury, because this is just the confluence of every factor that we ever fantasize about for Jota. Mm-hmm. And all he does is return when he plays, and he's going to be playing. So I think Rich is just like really far down on the totem pole for me right now with midfielders.
He does,
and I don't have him, but if I had him, I would probably just like keep him. Whatever he's fucking gets a header or something. I don't know.
Yeah, he's kind of trickling down my watch list or whatever. Like,
well, none of us have him.
To the top. Yeah.
None of us have Rich. Yeah, none of us have Rich. Well, Nate, you're bringing Rich up. Are you Rich curious?
I'm midfield curious in general, but there's other guys that I'm more interested in.
Yeah. I mean, is he a victim of other guys prospering right now, basically? Kev.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to me that he would be good. But I'm also like, obviously this team is a blind spot to me. Like, I don't like them. So,
yeah, and also with shit,
and like without Son, I just kind of assumed they would just be worse. And with Maddo,
what's up with Maddo?
Yeah,
he
where
should be
is
back.
Maddo?
I don't know. I mean, he's playing darts, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that could change things.
Being injured.
He fucking loves getting paid and not working.
Bentancur is good. I don't know. He should make them a little better, but they just also buying a bunch of people. I don't know what's going on.
Timo,
fucking legend. It just
what about you, Dare? Are you interested?
No, I mean, I think he's a fine pick, and he does seem to score a goal every single game. But I don't know. I just feel like there's too many other guys at this point. We also haven't talked about
better
Rashford.
Pick than him.
Yeah, okay. let's go on to Rash. Yeah. We could talk. Well, hang on before we go over to Rash. We guess you're bringing up Spuds. Do you see a lot more from Spuds that you're interested in, just attack wise, or?
I mean, they're not slowing down. So I'm not. I also have a little bit of the bias against the team, so I'm not like rushing out. And I did the Rich thing earlier in the season. I'm not compelled to. I'm not like your team. Let's put it that way. So. I just don't know where else to go with them. Definitely not Timo Werner.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Why not, Timo?
You can only have so many poor finishing players in your team, and like you got to look out for your mental health sometimes. So choose your battles. But is Rich a better pick than like Bowen? I kind of think so.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably. And Dare, you wanted to come on to Rash?
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like United's starting to play better. He's starting to look better. He's always kind of seems like he's been streaky player too, right?
Yeah.
And he's starting to look good.
Yeah, at Wolves, home Western, at Villa, at Luton, home Fulham. Good counter-attacking away fixtures, good Rash run, right?
Yeah. I think he's a probably pretty solid, good pick right now too.
Nate, what do you see with Rash? Alon's onto something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, great call.
Oh come on.
Where are we at with Garnacho? Like, I kind of wanted him to be the guy, but he's
not the guy.
He's not
what
the
guy. Fuck are you talking about? The guy? He's so peripheral.
Now, I mean, he wasn't a few games ago, but
that was before Rash was back.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess I wanted to see that Rash was really back, and I guess he is. Yeah. And Højlund's looking a lot better. They got something going between them, so it's good for both of them.
Yeah.
Højlund's probably a better pick than Watkins at this point, too. We want to throw another name in.
I mean, now we're getting down to like 6th and 7th forward pick.
I mean, I don't think anyone he doesn't really need to be in the conversation. But
jeez, Nate.
I like how disrespectful that is to Watkins, though. I like the disrespect.
It's too disrespectful.
But this is like, how do we fit Rashford in, though? That's the thing. It's still. I mean, it comes back to Jota. It's just like with Jota's emergence, it's like,
and
how are you doing anything other than getting Jota? And I don't get it. You can't. You really can't. It would be irresponsible.
I think that's fair. I don't know. I mean, we also haven't talked about. I mean, for what it's worth, like between 22 and 23, there's like 3 days. It's like midweek and then weekend games, right?
Yeah.
So teams that don't have much of a bench, I don't know, have to be careful.
Yeah, I mean, it's that, and then there's a normal week, and then there's champions between 24 and 25, I think. So there's going to be one regular week in February, basically.
Is it always just messed up in February? I feel like
every year it's always different and more fucked up than the previous year, I think. That's kind of how it goes. This time FIFA has to conquer the world, I guess. All right. I mean, I guess the last thing I did want to definitely touch on is captain. I know it's very far away, but
to look at that.
Have you guys looked at it at all, or have had any initial inclinations to? I mean, there are some tough fixtures, right? I mean, other than City, which is an ex-Min's nightmare. Everything else is like a little like, so is it just, City and you cross your fingers, or go ahead, Guest, what do you see?
Well, if we have any real good reason to believe that Holland's back for Burnley, I think there's captain. But we got to watch and wait on that whole thing. Otherwise, like,
what if Kev plays 45 minutes?
Yeah. I'm still like I love having Kev. It's hard to like captain him sometimes because you're like, you're bagging an assist, like the sickest assist you've ever seen, but like fantasy.
Sicker than Foden's non-existent assist.
That's the only thing sweeter than a Kev, beauty is like a Foden lucky fantasy
like
assist.
Foden blank.
I mean, Foden should have returned last game for sure.
I guess
he does that shit all the time, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's a very unusual player.
I mean,
Right,
ours are playing NFL, right?
Yeah, away. I don't know. I mean, Nate, what do you think that? I still don't think there's a captain pick on Arsenal though, like at all. So
yeah, agreed.
Yeah, it's very punty. I mean, I kind of like the fixture because I feel like they're going to be really aggressive at home. Yeah.
Possible.
But I mean, I don't hate a Liverpool guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Home? I mean, Chelsea's not great.
Yeah,
Chelsea defense has not been that good.
I guess. It's still just City, home, Burnley, like Dyche.
It's a good fixture, but who? There's nobody there.
Yeah, I mean, but like Dyche would live to go 0-5 over there, and company will oblige. He's so dark. He's like, I'll fucking pick up where my predecessor left off. I feel like it's not possible for City not to score 5 goals in that game.
Yeah, football heritage.
It is. It really is. Like City, home, Burnley.
Yeah.
Like that's what this fixture is 5-0 like every year.
Who is
every
scoring?
fucking year.
Kev?
So Kev,
that's who I have it on.
20 minutes.
I mean, that was my initial instinct. Like when I saw it, I was just, come on, I will always tell the truth. You must not tell lies. That can change, obviously. I mean, there's so many games to go between now and then, but I mean, it does sound insane to say, like, even if Kev doesn't start, like, I'll still captain him. Like, I'm not captaining Foden. I'll tell you that for fuck sure. There's no chance of that.
Yep.
So I guess I will need to spend more time on, looking at the other fixtures and thinking like,
bring in Rodri and captain him.
Yeah, well, Rodri.
He's their best player.
Rodri is something else, dude. He's actually insane, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, there isn't a ton out there. I guess if you're not looking at Darwin, if you feel good about Darwin, that more power to you. That's fine. I mean, I think Rashford is again, okay, probably. And Spurs home Brentford is a really good fixture for Spurs. I mean, I don't know who you captain there, but there isn't a ton. There isn't a ton.
Yeah, there's not a ton.
Yeah.
I like these weeks where it's a toss up.
Yeah, if there's reason to believe Holland is like back to that one, it is one of the ahead of like what will be his massive ownership. Almost immediately, but you get in on the almost part.
Yeah. No, that's very, very fair. Like if he's on the bench or plays 15 or 20 or something in the cup game, where you're just like, I'll just shoot this shot and hope it happens.
I mean, I want to get it in as fast as I can just to catch before he's over 100% effective ownership.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think if he does get into the cup game, that is something to consider for sure for the next game week.
Yeah, I mean, he's back in full training, so you would expect him to at least be on the bench minimum in the cup game to come. And I mean, the other thing too with City, like we saw with Kev, which is, you're looking at a small sample size, but when they're running a bad team ragged for over an hour, like, being fresh legs off the bench to play for a half an hour is insane. Like it's just nonstop. And Kev could have had 4 returns in that appearance in 20 minutes actual. He was just putting balls on dimes and, put Holland in I could see that. But it's going to be hard, I think, for me personally to resist the City Burnley fixture and just someone on City. I don't know who though. Probably Kev.
Julian.
Yeah, definitely not. All right, guys. I mean, I thought it was going to be a 2-hour, but it's late over there in New York, and you guys, Dara's in the kitchen, and All this shit's happening. How are we doing? Are we feeling good? Is that a wrap? Are we calling it here? Or do we have anything else?
We covered all the important ground.
Are there questions? I mean, do you want to do questions? One question.
You know how I do.
Where's
Did
the
you guys
admin?
know this? Yeah, fuck off with that. Did you know that Alon goes in this fucking channel and like actually responds to?
Yeah.
Like, he replies.
Of course he does.
I haven't opened this
He's
channel
a good host.
in months. The last time I opened this channel, I think was the last time I did a podcast. When
Did you
Alon
even
was
ask for questions?
Yeah, I do that as a gesture with Alon. Well, no, not as a gesture. This time I did it because I was like, oh, I have to like host. But I do it because I'm always mindful that like Alon always asks. So I'm like, oh, I have to like do the content channel. I don't like look at the questions for pod channel, but I say it so then like Alon doesn't have to do it, to share the responsibility. Does that make sense?
Yeah, just to go through the motions. Yeah, you don't want to. You really don't want to do. Are there any good questions? Did you look at all?
No, I said that. I mean, I just say them in our conversation, but I'm not
okay.
Draz, like who to captain, and if you have him, is it Jota? It's like, yeah, we did captain.
Questions that came up, you kind of worked into the convo.
Yeah. What to do with Arsenal attack? Like blah blah blah. Well, I did start with the best question was about Alon's girlfriend, but But yeah, I mean, but it's also fucking 5 games, It's this fucked up schedule.
Yeah. It seems like multiple people have Odegaard.
Yeah, I mean, I think all 2 Odegaard owners ask questions about him because they're having an existential crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, guys. I don't remember how Alon ends the podcast, so this is the end. That's it.
All right. See you tomorrow.
He says any last words.
Any last words?
Nope.
Nope.
See you next year, brother.
See you next year. Oh my God. All right. Good night.
All right. See you.